Kernel has one of the greatest concentrations of ancient people's relics, despite the fact that ancient people's relics can be found all over Scotland. Glen Martin. Numerous archaeologists, historians, and other scientists have investigated this location near the country's western coast, which has a reputation as a historical hotbed, because of the intense scrutiny placed on the area. When a local came across one of the most significant archaeological finds in recent Scottish history, everyone was shocked. A new understanding of the area's past civilization was provided by the discovered cave drawings. But before we get started, hit that subscribe button and become a part of our community of like-minded individuals who love history facts. Let's get started. Before an accidental hiker made a significant contribution to the study of early Scottish history. Most of the cave drawings made by scientists on Earth were patterned works. The most well-known feature of prehistoric art created by Martin Glen was its concentric circles offset by wide lines. However, this distinctive pattern was not restricted to the Glen. Cup and ring marks have been discovered drawn all over Great Britain. Even though they are common, little is known about their meaning. Government agency Historic Environment Scotland stated that researchers have recorded a few thousand separate stones in Scotland with similar prehistoric scratchings. Although many of these mysterious carvings can still be seen in the open landscape today, we know little about how they were used or what purpose they serve. The people who chose to carve into the rock were obsessed with making cup and ring marks for some reason. By far, these are the most prevalent patterns in the nation. The practice was not exclusive to the United Kingdom because other ancient societies in Scandinavia and Iberia carved the same symbol. It's not clear if this was a common design, or if multiple civilizations went through a separate but parallel evolutionary process. The mark must have had some significance given its global spread. The ring and cup marks, according to some scholars, are associated with water. That pattern could be a representation of ocean waves or lake ripples. However, scientists still lack concrete evidence regarding the true nature of cup and ring marks, despite the numerous iterations from which they can work. They are still a mystery to archaeologists. Martin Glen attracts a steady stream of tourists due to its numerous cup and ring marks and other mysterious features. You need to get to the western coast of Scotland if you're the kind of person who is drawn to rocks with no idea where they came from or what they mean. Actually, the CO Martin Glen has two more of these features, which are essentially standing stones in the massive hinge. According to the website Undiscovered Scotland, the rows of stones at Balunnites remain a megalithic monument with a long-forgotten purpose, while the nether largely standing stones may have tracked the moon's path through the sky. Together, these ancient boulders serve as a visual reminder that the cool Martin Glen has a lot to offer. Whereas the Glen's above-ground landscape is dominated by cup and ring marks as well as stones, Dan Craig of Carron is one of several tombs carved into the lush hills of the region. This multi-chamber burial site is nearly 100 feet wide. In the 1860s, the location was first explored by researchers, who discovered 3 distinct rooms. Craig Carron and those scientists searched for clues to early Scottish history. The ancient burial mound was 4,000 years old, but they didn't find everything that was left. Occasionally, discovery necessitates some chance. By being in the right place at the right time, local resident and archaeology graduate Hamish Fenton accidentally contributed to Scottish history. One day, while Fenton was hiking in the cold Martin Glen, he came close to the Craig of Carron entrance as the sun began to set. Fenton shined his flashlight into the entrance of the burial chamber, illuminating the shadowy interiors of the rounded burial mound after he noticed the opening. The graduate also noticed something odd as he looked inside the tomb. As I moved the torch around, I noticed a pattern on the roof slab's underside that didn't look like the rock vent's natural markings, so I told Sky News. He finally recognized the outline of something that had gone unnoticed by the hordes of people who had previously perused the Carron for a considerable amount of time. I could see that I was looking at an upside-down deer stag as Fenton continued to shine his flashlight, and as I continued to look around, more animals appeared on the rock. This took place within a room where a group of 10 people had been buried. A greenstone axe, a flint knife, and a whetstone to sharpen them were found alongside the prehistoric human remains. Following Fenton's discovery, it now appears that this unknown group of people were laid to rest under the watchful eye of 2 male red deer, displaying impressive antler sets. The ceiling had also been carved with images of younger deer in addition to the adult stags. The fact that the Fenton's deer carvings were the first known prehistoric animal carvings found in Scotland made them exciting. Apparently, these ancient works stand out from others in the UK because of the artist's attention to detail. Despite the fact that there are only a few prehistoric carvings of deer in the UK, the only other ones were made in the early Bronze Age and are very schematic. According to Barnett, it is remarkable that these carvings by Indian Craig Caron show such great anatomical detail, and it is clear which animal species they represent. Stone carvings of animals are the most common subject worldwide and can be found in over 100 countries. The earliest example was made 45,500 years ago on the island of Sulawesi, which is close to Indonesia. Cave art has been found in many parts of the world, but can we say with certainty that the person behind the drawing was actually a human? Here, a lost artist scratched a pig image onto a cave wall, and it was always assumed that we humans were the only ones who created it until recently. The absolute most popular cavern craftsmanship was found in the Chauvet Cave in southern France. Additionally, we can almost guarantee that this work was created by humans. Because the cave paintings in Chauvet have been authoritatively dated to approximately 30,000 years ago, we know that the art there was created by Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens was the only human-like species on Earth at the time. The stunning wall paintings must therefore have been created by these people. The Lascaux Cave, also in France, was where the other Stone Age cave paintings were found. There are approximately 6,000 images depicting a variety of animals, including horses and deer, among others, on the cave's walls. Along with abstract images, the website also has images of people. The paintings at Lascaux are roughly 20,000 years older than those at Chauvet. However, it cannot be denied that Homo sapiens was the creator of both of these sets, as well as other cave paintings that have been discovered. As a result, they are consistent with the hypothesis that humans arrived in Western Europe from Africa approximately 45,000 years ago. However, at the same time that Homo sapiens arrived on the scene, another species of hominid existed in Western Europe, the Neanderthals. For many years after the Neanderthals' existence was discovered, it was believed that they were a rather primitive species and that they would not have been able to create our torso. In 1856, workers at a limestone quarry in Germany's Neander Valley discovered the first Neanderthal bones. At first, it was thought that the strange, almost human bones belonged to a deformed person. However, researchers quickly realized that they were dealing with a different species that will soon be referred to as a homelone, not Homo sapiens. At first, it was thought that Neanderthals and modern humans were very different from one another. Their heavy bodies and protruding brows seemed to indicate that they were much less intelligent than Homo sapiens. However, perceptions of the Neanderthals began to shift after the 1950s. Scientists and archaeologists have learned in recent decades that Neanderthals made stone tools in the same way that early humans did. Additionally, the way they read their data suggests that they observed the ritual of respect for the deceased. Additionally, there is evidence that they prescribed herbal remedies. As a result, the stereotype of Neanderthals as merely brainless animals was definitely no longer true. Furthermore, we now know that Neanderthals and humans interacted in Europe. In fact, they even interbred. Research has shown that the average amount of Neanderthal DNA in modern Europeans and Asians is approximately the same. Now, based on what we know about science, about 40,000 years ago, Neanderthals went extinct. This indicates that they probably coexisted with Homo sapiens in Europe for several thousand years. There are, however, a variety of hypotheses as to the cause of the Neanderthals' disappearance, and we now know that they were highly intelligent. It's possible that when humans arrived, all of these hominids were killed. Or perhaps Homo sapiens brought diseases with them that the Neanderthals were immune to, triggering epidemics and widespread death. A third possibility is that humans simply outcompeted Neanderthals in their competition for limited resources. However, what about creative pursuits? Were Neanderthals capable of creating art? In fact, there is evidence of Neanderthal creativity. French researchers have found jewelry that is thought to have been made by Neanderthals and dates back 43,000 years. However, 43,000 years ago brings us to a time when Neanderthals and Homo sapiens shared territories. Therefore, it's possible that the Neanderthals were merely imitating the behavior of their human relatives. However, the capacity to duplicate in this manner in itself recommends a specific degree of refinement. Some of the earlier claims about Neanderthal symbolic behavior had uncertain dates or were based on inferred overlaps between Neanderthals and Homo sapiens from 40,000 to 60,000 years ago. Because of this, they could still be attributed to modern humans or to the way modern humans influenced Neanderthal behavior. In February 2018, Professor Chris Stringer of the London Natural History Museum informed the BBC. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a thing.